Well, happy anniversary, everybody. Um, First, I would like to thank those who I spoke with to help me remember things. I think I got most things accurate or at least close. It's hard to believe it's been 5 years since we became open and affirming. Uh, Sitting in a Zoom meeting with Pastor Alyssa, Grace Heisinga, and Lori McKee to prepare for today, our 5-year open and affirming anniversary. Of the four of us, I was the only one who had been here 5 years ago. I realized that we have been blessed with many new people who were not here for that part of our church's journey. And I realized that being open and affirming may be considered a given by some of our newer people, not knowing what it took to get here. Open and affirming is a UCC designation earned by individual UCC churches to publicly show that we as a congregation have made a covenant to the LGBTQ plus, same gender loving, and two-hearted communities, that we are open to all people and affirm each person's identity and relationship. The UCC encourages, endorses, and supports being ONA. Although the goal, not all UCC churches are ONA, not yet. Only about a third are, because it's not a given. Each church, each congregation needs to make the commitment, to make a covenant, to earn the ONA designation. From what I can remember, with a little help from those I've talked with, it was around 2000, back when we were still in the old church building, when talk of becoming ONA first began. Some remember that we at times had LGBTQ visitors. And although we were welcoming to all, we had not made a stance. Being welcoming does not carry the same tone. Although people were nice and welcomed visitors, there was still the sense from some that you can be here, but you can't do everything a member can do. These visitors didn't want to be welcomed. They wanted to be equals and be seen as equals. So we had a mix of feelings in our congregation on a wide range. Some were all for pursuing ONA, and some were strongly opposed. We as a whole weren't ready yet, and we were only talking about it, but it did not go away. 2006 was a big year for us. We moved into this new church building that we built and celebrated our congregation's 150th anniversary. I found in our 2006 church directory, Pastor Roger Laware wrote, "We will turn no one away, for we can only be faithful to the teachings of Christ when all, no exceptions, are welcomed in the body of Christ and nurtured in the ways of faith and service to others. We want you to find a home in this family of God's people." It sounds like we're getting ready, getting closer, but not there yet. In December 2013, we began a new beginnings process suggested by the Michigan Conference. This included cluster events in early 2014, gathered in people's homes to sharpen our church's focus and mission. We worked on being accessible to all, remember A2A, which I think was only a precursor in laying the groundwork of what was yet to come. It was around then that we had Dr. Dick Sherlock as our interim pastor. He had previously served at an ONA church. The talk of becoming ONA grew louder as we were reinvigorated by the possibility that maybe this is our time. We are ready. But now what? We had a committee made up of Ramona Murray, Nikki Holst, Sawyer Laird, and Kaylee Davies to look into the ONA process. It was advised from the Michigan Conference to seek the Open and Affirming Coalition, where a lot of resources can be found. The committee members went through some training to help lead us through this process, and we were connected with the local ONA UCC as a mentor. This brought us to Reverend Dr. William Lyons from St. John's UCC on Bridge Street in downtown Grand Rapids, who had created a curriculum to earn ONA designation. We had a series of small group Bible study groups towards the end of 2015, where we read the Bible, shared interpretations, answered questions, and had real conversations. It was important for all members of all ages to attend. Being a congregational church means the congregation had to be on board. To culminate all of this, as we prepared to celebrate 10 years in this new building and 160 years as a congregation, we wrote a covenant that was presented for a congregational vote and was passed and signed as our pledge 5 years ago today. Some of the wording may sound familiar, but here is our covenant. We, the congregation of the First Congregational Church of Lowell, United Church of Christ, have a mission of responding to the living God with a progressive voice and working hands, being called to feed Christ's community in mind, body, and spirit. In this spirit, we are open and affirming church, believing that each of us is created in God's image. We gladly receive into our community all people, including people of all ages, races, cultures, sexual orientation, gender identities and expressions, family configurations, marital status, economic circumstances, physical, cognitive, or emotional abilities, education, or spiritual and religious traditions. Everyone who is seeking a relationship with God through Christ is welcome to participate and share in all services and activities as we seek to continue to grow a nurturing and safe community of faith. We commit ourselves to the continuing work and blessings of being an open and affirming congregation. It wasn't an easy road. We lost some friends along the way, but we also gained many new ones.